Update 2. My girlfriend said, "It's over. My new man is taking me to Paris." I replied, "Enjoy your flight." She didn't know her new man was my newest intern. I waited until they boarded, texted my intern, "You're fired," canceled his corporate card, and left them both stranded in Paris. Step 2 was a phone call. I dialed the number for our company's dedicated 24/7 corporate card administration service. A sleepy agent answered. I identified myself by name and my executive ID number. "I need to report a card being used for fraudulent purposes and have it canceled immediately," I said. I gave them Leo's card number. As the authorizing vice president for the account, I had the absolute authority to do this. I told the agent that the employee had been terminated and that all recent charges, including the airline tickets and the hotel booking, were to be flagged as fraudulent and subject to chargeback procedures. The agent typed for a moment. "Okay, Mr. Sterling," he said, "the card has been deactivated. All pending charges have been frozen. A fraud investigation will be opened on our end." "Excellent," I said. "Thank you for your efficiency." And that was it. In the space of 5 minutes, I had fired my rogue intern and vaporized his financial lifeline. I imagined the sequence of events that would unfold upon their arrival in Paris. They would be giddy with excitement, full of champagne from their first-class flight. They would take a taxi to their luxurious 5-star hotel. They would walk up to the check-in desk, and the polite concierge would look at their reservation, tap on his keyboard, and then deliver the bad news with a slight frown. "I'm so sorry, sir, but the credit card used to book this room has been declined. The reservation is no longer valid." From there, their dream vacation would spiral into a nightmare. Every plan they had would evaporate. The corporate card in Leo's wallet was now just a useless piece of plastic. His personal bank account, as I knew from his intern salary, would be woefully inadequate for even one night in a cheap Parisian hotel, let alone 2 last-minute economy tickets back home. They were stranded. Just as I predicted, about 8 hours later, my phone began to vibrate. It was a call from a number I didn't recognize, but the country code was for France. I let it go to voicemail. A minute later, it rang again, ignored. Then came the barrage of texts from Madison. "Alex, what did you do? The hotel won't let us check in. Leo's card keeps getting declined everywhere. He says you canceled it. He just got a text saying he's fired. Is this your idea of a joke? Alex, this isn't funny. We have no money. We are stuck here. You have to fix this. You owe me this." I read the texts. A cold sense of justice washing over me. Owed her? I owed her nothing. After a dozen more frantic messages, I decided to grant her one final reply. I typed a single simple sentence. "This sounds like a personal problem between you and your dynamic, ambitious man. As I said before, enjoy your flight, or in this case, your vacation." I sent the message. Then I blocked her number. I blocked her on every social media platform. I erased her from my digital life as completely as I had just erased her vacation plans. Shortly after, a few of her friends started texting me, clearly fed a panicked one-sided story. "What you're doing to Madison is cruel," one wrote. "There's been a terrible misunderstanding. You need to help them." I didn't reply. I just blocked their numbers, too. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a consequence. Madison had hitched her wagon to a man who tried to build a life on theft and arrogance. I simply pointed it out to him and to her in the most direct and undeniable way possible. They were now in a 5-star city with a 0-star budget, left to sort out the mess they had created for themselves. The first order of business when I got to the office on Monday was to formalize the situation. I met with our head of HR and my own boss, the executive vice president. I laid out the facts clinically, presenting them with a printout from the corporate expense portal. I showed them the timeline of charges, the first-class tickets, the luxury hotel, all booked for personal use. I terminated Leo's internship for gross misconduct on Friday evening as soon as the fraudulent activity was confirmed, I explained. I also had his corporate card deactivated to prevent further unauthorized spending and to protect the company from additional liability. They were both grim-faced but fully supportive. My boss clapped me on the shoulder. "Good call, Alex," he said. "You acted decisively to protect the firm's assets. This kid was a loaded cannon. Better to find out now than 6 months down the line when he's handling real client data." HR handled the official paperwork. Leo was formally blacklisted from any future employment with our company or any of its subsidiaries. My swift action was noted in my file, not as a personal vendetta, but as a demonstration of strong executive oversight. Professionally, I had come out of this looking even better. Of course, I was intensely curious about how Madison and Leo managed to escape their Parisian prison. The answer came about a week later via a colleague who had a friend who was friends with one of Madison's friends. The grapevine is a powerful tool. The story was one of pure unadulterated humiliation. After failing to get a hold of me, Madison was forced to make a series of tearful, graveling phone calls to her parents. She had to confess that her glamorous Parisian getaway with her new man had imploded because he had apparently been funding it with a stolen credit card. Her parents, after what was surely an epic lecture, reluctantly agreed to wire her money. Not enough for a luxurious week, but just enough for 2 last-minute one-way tickets home in the worst seats on the plane, likely with a 3-hour layover in Iceland. I imagine that flight home was a quiet and deeply uncomfortable one.